So now y'all come into my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Happy October, don't we just love it? I mean, I am an October girl. My birthday is in October. I'm a fall lover. Big time, big time, big time. I just love it. And one of the most fun things about it is having Halloween, right? We love it. We always sit outside on our front porch and we greet trick-or-treaters. We sit on our steps, and so instead of them having to come up and ring our doorbell and, approach us, we like to be approachable. So we sit outside on the steps and we visit and we talk to families. And sometimes, y'all, I've even had treats. Like I've made, we do candy for the kids. And then sometimes I'll make like grown-up treats that I have on a platter, and I give the adults something fun to eat when they come to our house, because the grown-ups need treats too, don't they? So today, I'm making grown-up Halloween treats. Isn't that fun? So if you know where I live, there's a really good chance I could have these on the front steps, ready to greet you and visit. What we're gonna make today, really fun, really, really fun. We're starting with toasted coconut and brown butter Rice Krispie treats. Grown-up flavors, toasty, nutty, warm, I mean, just so good. They are these little subtle flavors that have just really amped up a classic, regular old sweet Rice Krispie. You are gonna love these. We're gonna hit them with a little bit of sea salt for a little savory bite to balance the sweet. It is fun. And we're also going to do some salted Buckeye bars. You know what Buckeyes are? Those old-fashioned candies that are like peanut butter balls. And then they dip them down in chocolate coating, and they leave just that little circle at the top, so it looks like a Buckeye, like an actual Buckeye nut or whatever it is. Seed? I think it might be a seed or a nut. I don't know. But we're going to, instead of going to the trouble of making all those little peanut butter balls and having to dunk every single one, that's so much labor, and I don't have that much time. I just want to crank out a bunch of really delicious, easy treats without a lot of elbow grease. We're going to just take that whole same idea and spread them in a pan and cut them. How about that? Same idea, same flavors, easier. So we're starting with our toasted coconut brown butter Rice Krispie treats. Now, what I have got going right here, I've got my 6 cups of Rice Krispies, crisp rice cereal, whatever you want to use. And I have it in a dry pot here over medium heat, and I'm just stirring it dry. There's no butter in here yet. There's no oil, there's nothing. And I'm just letting this toast. And it's gonna go from the light color that we're used to seeing in Rice Krispies to a little bit of a more golden color. Parts of it are gonna get even a light, beautiful brownish. Brown is a strong word for the color. It's just a really nice, deep golden, kind of an amber color. And what it does, we're just adding depth of flavor. Brings out the nuttiness. It makes them especially crisp, so they hold up well when we coat them in our butter and our marshmallow. Then, this only takes a minute or so. Then I have about 1.5 cups or 2 cups of toasted coconut. And just before I dumped these in here, all I did was put it in a dry pot over medium heat and let it sit. You'll start to hear it kind of sizzle. Stir it, stir it, stir it. You're basically sauteing flaked coconut, and you'll start to see it dry out a little bit. You'll see the oils come out, and you'll hear it sizzle. Then it'll start to kind of dry out a little bit and get flaky, and you'll have some little browned bites right here in your coconut. Not the whole thing, but just a little. So, coconut first, dumped out, sauteed, browned, toasted, dumped out on our little plate here. Our crisped rice right here is looking good, so I'm gonna dump it out now. It doesn't take very long. Then we're gonna move to browned butter. Now, browned butter, you wanna make it with unsalted, oh yeah, look, there's some, well, I'll show you a little bit, some really pretty bits. Browned butter is when you take butter and you basically let it melt in your skillet or your pot, and let it, instead of just getting golden and melted, you let it go just a little bit longer, and the milk fats at the bottom of the butter will settle, and they start to brown, and they get a little bit nutty in color. They get really flavorful. It's rich. It's a warmer flavor, and it's delicious. So here we go. I'm doing 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and you just have to watch it. That is the most important part of your butter. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna foam up. We're gonna let it melt. It's gonna foam up, okay? First, kind of wildly so. You're gonna see it get real foamy all around the top and bubbly. Then you're gonna see that foam across the top kind of settle down, and you're gonna be able to see the fat solids. They're gonna sink to the bottom, and they're little bits. And that's when you really wanna start watching those little bits, because we want those to turn just the nicest, prettiest kind of an amber color. And then you've got browned butter. It's nutty and delicious, and this richness is phenomenal in these grown-up Rice Krispie treats. I'm going to watch these little bits. When we come back, we're gonna move quick. We're gonna start dumping things in and getting our Rice Krispie treats made. Okay, this is cooking today. Hi, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're making some gorgeous toasted coconut and brown butter Rice Krispies for grown-up Halloween treats. Wouldn't these be super fun to cut up and package really cute and take to your neighbors and your friends? I think it would be. So we are browning the butter. We put 6 tablespoons of butter in our saute pan. We let it foam up, get real bubbly, and then it starts to settle down. And you'll see the bits, the milk solids, get down in the bottom of the pan, and they separate and they brown a little. And once they do that, you are good to go. That's so fun. And that's it. There is a real fine line between brown butter and burned butter, and you don't want to burn it. So as soon as you see those really pretty golden brown bits on the bottom, it's time to move on quickly. So you need to have everything ready to go. I have now turned my heat all the way down to the lowest setting. You should smell this butter, and I just put in a splash of vanilla. It is just, it's magic, y'all. Magic, magic. Now, I have a 10-ounce bag of Rice Krispie treats. No, not Rice Krispie treats. Marshmallows, minis. They melt better. And we want to put in about half and let those get going. I mean, not this version, but my mom made Rice Krispie treats like nobody's business. It was so simple, and she worked, and we loved a good treat, and they're inexpensive as they can be, regular ones. So she made Rice Krispie treats all the time. And I stood like a little scavenger right by her side. You know what I'm gonna say. Waiting, it's everybody's favorite part of Rice Krispie treats, right? Waiting for her to dump them out into the pan, and then I could take a knife or a spoon or my fingers and go around all those little leftover bits that were left all stuck around the sides of the pans and down in the groove and the utensil that she used, and I would just eat those clean. Don't y'all do that? Don't y'all do that? Yeah, the cameramen are not as gung-ho about it as I am, but that's what I did, and I couldn't wait. It was so fun. Okay, so we've done this, and look at the color. Look at the bits. Do you see the bits in the butter that are now these beautiful flecks in our marshmallows? And so instead of our marshmallows just being white, like a classic Rice Krispie treat, we have this pretty color, a little richer. So I am now stirring in the other part of my marshmallows. This is just over really low heat. Y'all have made marshmallow treats before, but this is a little bit different. Our toasted coconut is rested and has cooled. Getting a workout on my arms right here before your eyes. A lot of stirring. We have toasted our rice cereal. I don't know if you can see this. Ooh, it's warm. But there are some really pretty dark pieces inside here. Look, I'm just gonna do this. I don't know if somebody can see. Ta-da! Beautiful, dark pieces in the Rice Krispie treats. So I don't know if y'all were able to even see that, but I hope so, because it's just pretty. Just a little bit of extra work and some rich flavor makes these extra, extra fun. Okay, so now we're turning that bad boy off. Now we have our Rice Krispies that are going back in that we toasted, brought out their nutty flavor. Oh boy. And we're stirring these in. And here's the thing about these Rice Krispies. Let me see if I can get, oh, they're starting to pop. I usually like to transfer to a flat spatula here because I don't want to smash them into powder. I want them to stay like this. You cannot let any of that go to waste. That belongs to someone. And if they don't want it, I'm going to have it. I'm going to set that right there. You don't want to smash them into powdery bits. So I like to get my flatter utensil and scoop and fold, where you go around and you kind of fold it back down on itself so that you're not smashing them. We still want these good whole toasted Rice Krispies down inside here. Also, waiting in the wings, I have a 9x9 pan. You can do it in an 8x8. Actually, I say that. I don't know what size this is. 8x8. This just depends on how thick you want them. But this is not a recipe for a 9x13. This is not a big casserole dish. This is just a smaller pan. And I've got it waiting in the wings. I have sprayed it with some Baker's Joy, which has got, it's like a flour spray so that it greases, but it also has a little release in it. And so it's waiting. I've got my coconut. I'm going to just eyeball out about a cup or so, half cup, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's for garnish. We're going to throw that in. Oh my goodness. It's so good. Because this, we're going to press on the top, okay? All we're going to do, piece of cake, is fold these Rice Krispies in with this toasted coconut, press them down in our pan, and we're going to take our last little bunch right there and just sprinkle it around the top. Easy as that. Then they just need to sit at room temperature before we'll cut them at the end and eat them up. Isn't that great? We'll come back to these at the very end. When we come back, we are going to make salted Buckeye bars. They're the best. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome back to Cooking Today. We've just finished some toasted coconut and brown butter Rice Krispie treats. Doesn't that sound fantastic? I'll show you what they look like at the end. So good. And when you weren't looking, I did take just a split second and eat out the bottom of the leftover crumbs in the bottom of that pan. They're just phenomenal. Y'all got to try those. The flavor of the toast and the toasted cereal and the brown butter, it's in the toasted coconut, all of it is just this great flavor. You're going to love it. Now we're going to move to salted Buckeye bars. We talked about what Buckeyes are and where they got their name at the beginning. And I have a confession to make. When I was pregnant with my third child, they sell those at Cracker Barrel, I think. You can go there and you can buy like a little container of them, in their little store at the front. I went one time when I was supremely pregnant with my child, and I went inside, I got a container of them, and I sat in the parking lot there in my car, and I ate the whole container of Buckeye bars. I can't even begin to tell you, I wouldn't even want to think about it, how many calories and fat are in all that peanut butter and chocolate. But y'all, I was happy as a clam. Oh, such a craving. And so these kind of always remind me of the days when I was pregnant with my babies, because I loved peanut butter, chocolate, anything. And what's so funny about that is if you've been around here very long, I don't even like peanut butter and chocolate. I'm a lemon, coconut, vanilla, berry lover. So that just goes to show you how legitimate pregnancy cravings are. Now, what we've got in here is a cup and a half, no, 3/4 of a cup, which is a stick and a half of unsalted butter that I melted and I let it cool. And then we're doing a cup and a half of peanut butter, smooth peanut butter, down inside our mixer. You can do this with a hand mixer if you would rather. Totally fine. Okay. We're gonna get that down in here. Oh, I just threw peanut butter. That's okay. This is when you wish you had a dog that you could just go, shh, come lick that up. I'll have Timmy do it. Timmy never lets peanut butter go by, do you? Timmy never lets peanut butter pass. He'll eat that off the floor. Okay. Peanut butter, unsalted butter, brown sugar, just a little bit. And then we're going to add a little bit of vanilla, always. You can measure if you want. It's about a teaspoon or so. I love vanilla. Okay. And then 3½ cups of powdered sugar. I'm going to get that down in there. Y'all, have you noticed too that these are both no-bake treats? Don't you love no-bake treats? Just takes a little bit of time and some mixing, but we don't even have to put anything in the oven. It just goes. Okay, ready? Ready for the poof? That's the beauty of these Smeg mixers. They have a slow start. Did you hear that? How it kind of gets itself going? So instead of it just turning on and poofing our powdered sugar all over America, it goes nice and slow. It's kind of awesome. Okay, so then we're just going to turn that on and let that go. Now, what I'm also going to do real quick is we're going to revisit this in a second because I think I'm going to add a little more powdered sugar to it because I think I want it to be the tiniest bit thicker. In a glass measuring cup, we have 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. You can do a blend of milk chocolate and semi-sweet. That's what I did. Or you can do all of one. It doesn't really matter. And I'm doing a couple of tablespoons of coconut oil, okay? And what that does is it helps kind of smooth out our chocolate chips when we're going to cool them or melt them in the microwave. So I'm going to stick that in. And what I like to do is microwave all of that for 1 minute on high. Then what we do is we come back to it, stir it, and then you can just heat it like 20, 30 seconds at a time and stir it until it's nice and smooth. So, okay, so I've looked in here. Oh, it's probably just fine. I mean, I did write the recipe. It's probably just fine. Yeah, I think it's good. I was thinking I might add a little bit more powdered sugar to it, but I think we're good to go. Now, this is very important. What you do with these Buckeye bars is you want to be able to lift the whole entire pan out, like the whole block of bars right out of the pan. So what I do is I get my 9x13, and then we're going to lay our parchment down inside there. Oh, there's our chocolate. We're going to stir that in a minute. I lay this right down on the inside like this and line the pan so that once these cool, we can just lift the whole entire thing out. All we're going to do, this is so easy, gang. We're going to dump this in the bottom of our pan and spread it out nice and level. And then we're going to pour our melted chocolate right on the top. That's it. Spread it around with like a little offset spatula and then let them chill so that we can cut them. I'll show you what they look like when we come back, but this is easy as it can be and it tastes over the top delicious. So come back and we'll show you what they look like and our Rice Krispie treats. This is cooking today. Hi, welcome back. We are just wrapping up 2 easy, no-bake, grown-up fall treats. I love both of these so much. So we have our toasted coconut and brown butter Rice Krispie treats that we pressed into the pan, topped with more toasted coconut and just a hit of flaky sea salt right on the top. And then I've cut them into squares. Look at that. Aren't those so pretty? And they smell nutty and delicious and so warm. You're gonna love just kind of the grown-up flavors of that one. Then we're making these super easy no-bake salted Buckeye bars. Oh, y'all, the filling. We decided in the break when we were licking the spoons, like we always do, that the filling of this tastes like the inside of like a nutty bar or those little peanut, I've forgotten what they're called. What are they called? Those little nutty cookies. What are they called? I can't think of what they're called, but you know the ones that look like peanuts that have that yummy little cookie flavor on the inside?
Nutter butter.
Nutter butters. Sorry, it takes a village. Nutter butters. Tastes like Nutter butters. And so all we've done is melted our chocolate chips with our coconut oil on the top, taken my offset spatula and spread it around so it covers all of that yummy peanut butter filling. And then for that little extra bite to kind of balance all that sweet, we're doing cracked, yummy, fresh sea salt right on the top. This needs to chill for at least 30 minutes or more in your refrigerator before you cut them. We'll do that later. And then these we've already cut and we're gonna serve them up. Yummy, adult, grown-up Halloween treats that you can serve to your friends and your family and your neighbors and sit outside and greet your Halloween visitors. I hope you'll do it. Try these recipes at home and love every bite. This is Cooking Today.